Hello everybody, it's just Damon519 here, and welcome! This is going to be the first one of these types of videos that I'm going to be making. I decided to take a single 5-star, in this case Gepard, and with a full free-to-play team beside him, I was going to take out every single simulated universe stage, basically having him carry the team. Now, something to note, I just reached rank 60 in Honkai Star Rail, meaning that I have the second highest difficulty unlocked of every single simulated universe stage. Now, it will probably be a long time before I reach the final difficulties. This is the best you'll get. A few things to note here before end. One, Gepard is level 60. He's not level he is ascended to level 70, but he hasn't been leveled up yet to level 70, right? This also means he doesn't have his last trace unlocked yet. On top of that, how these videos are going to work is I'm going to now be talking about what did I do, how did I do it, what are some tips I have, and what are some of the worlds or moments that I had difficulties with. And after we get done with all that, right, and some precautions that I had to take, once we're done with all that, I'm going to be fading out of the video. The background music is going to be bumped up a bit, and the rest of the video will just be what you're seeing right now somewhere on the bottom of the screen. I'm just gonna edit the face cam on top of the video, so I'm not seeing it, but you guys are. It's going to be a 1.5 times sped up version of my entire run. There will be timestamps, of course, so don't worry. You won't be, you know, trying to skim your way through trying to find where's what. The timestamps will tell you exactly where, when, what starts. So let's first talk about the how. How do you make Gepard carry you throughout Simulated Universe? What is the cheaty method that allows Gepard to just murder everybody, and because he's not a DPS, right? Now, what you do is you have these paths that you can pick, right? After, like, World 4, I'm pretty sure you unlock this ability, and you get to pick one of many paths. You have, like, Hunt, Abundance, Nihility, all that kind of stuff. Now, what we're going to be choosing here is a path called Preservation. Preservation is the same type that Gepard is. Not that that's like a must, but it means that they kind of work well together. Now, what Preservation does is it gives allies shields. It works better the more shields allies have. I'm pretty sure allies' damage goes up for shields that they have. But the thing is, the ability, right, of the path, the R ability, for people who do not know, and for people who don't play on PC, it's the little special ability on the side that you unlock after you get 3 of the Preservation, in this case Blessings, right? That does a ton of damage, and it does more damage if you have more shields, right? The more shields you have, the more damage it does, if I recall correctly. So what you do is the Blessings of Preservation will buff the amount of shields that Gepard gives. And because Gepard gives more shields, it means the ability of Preservation will do more damage, and you use that to just absolutely annihilate anything that gets in your way. That's basically what it comes down to. So we're going to be using that. Now, an important thing to note to save you some time if you're also doing this, right? Now, everything here is auto. I have autoed every fight, every stage, every challenge, every throttler. Everything is fully autoed. I did not impact anything at all, the combat-wise, right? And the reason I specifically chose to do that is, one, I'm already bringing an underpowered Gepard. He's level 60 in an area that I just unlocked where I can get my characters up to 80, right? Another thing is, if you're having issues with this and you're trying out this comp, you know that if I was able to fully auto it, then if you're just trying to get your first clear, you can manual it with this team and you'll be just fine. Right? If auto could do it, you could do it. Simple as that, right? So another thing I wanted to talk about, let me pull my chair up for a second, is what path did I first take? Now, for those who have not gotten that far yet in Simulated Universe, shocks, you know, most people should be, but I know new people are starting every day, so maybe you're one of those. Let me explain. Later on in the skill tree for Simulated Universe, you unlock the ability to get, like, to enhance your path abilities, right? Your resemblance path, I'm pretty sure it's what it's called, something like that, right? And these are one of 3 upgrades, right? And then you can get even more of that later down the skill tree, because the first time you unlock it, you can only pick 1. Then later on, you can pick 2, and then later on, you can pick all 3 upgrades eventually. Now, the first one that I recommend everybody to get, right? If you are only able to get 1, and you're not able to get any more, period, you don't have it unlocked, go for 0-dimensional reinforcements. It gives guaranteed crits, and for every shielded character, it does more crit damage to the ability, right? which is very good because it gives your Renaissance formation, resonance ability a lot more damage. However, if you are able to select more than one, so 2 or 3, always pick I don't know how to pronounce it, isomorphous reaction first. Basically what this one does is every time you enter a battle, your path resonance automatically regenerates by 40% on top of what you already have. And with that, every time an ally gains a shield, the path of resonance will also regenerate its charge by a certain amount. I think it's like 8%, I don't fully remember. What this basically means is that you'll be getting it up a lot more often, a lot faster. Right? That's just what it is. You'll have the ability up more often, meaning you'll kill the enemies faster, meaning you'll save more time. You're not trying to speedrun, but like, you might as well, if you can't kill it faster, why not? It's not like early stages really care too much about the damage. Really care too much about like, oh, I need to crit and all the yada yada. So let's keep going. Next up, what team did I run? Now there's a few staples on this team. Once again, I'm bringing fully free-to-play units. You don't have to, right? Well, of course, besides Gepard, but he's the showcase character. But you don't really have to, right? You could bring your Seela, you could bring your Jingyuans, you can bring your Silver Wolf if you wanted to. Hell, you could take a team that's not even centered around Gepard and just bring Gepard with you. That's fine as well. But for this free-to-play team, I ran Flame MC next to Gepard. Now, little tip, I gave this tip as well in my team building video. I highly recommend checking that out if you're having issues with that. Putting your Flame MC in the corner is extremely important because that means that if he gets hit by an adjacent attack because he inflicts taunt, only the one person standing next to him will get hit. Not 2, because there's nobody to his left or to his right, depending on which corner you put him in, right? And make sure that the person you're putting next to him can take a hit, which is why we put Gepard there. So Gepard gets there, then Natasha, and then filler unit. Now, what do I mean by filler unit? Sometimes I bring Serval in some of the worlds. As you see in the first world right here, I brought Serval. I think at least. I think we should still be on world 3. I brought Serval. And in later places, I brought, what is the name? March 7th, right? Now, I do think March 7 is more consistent. It is just what it is, right? She is more consistent. However, I bring Kafka, especially for fights like Svorog, where you really want that type advantage to break their hands at the end, which could still be an issue if you get very bad RNG, especially if you don't bring a character like Serval or somebody else who could break it. I don't remember off of the top of my head what other elements you could bring for that, but yeah, basically that. So, most other cases, like I did in World 6 and in World 5, right? Which we'll get to World 5 in a second, because that's a cookie in and of itself. World 6, I actually lost my first run to this, because I ended up bringing Serval for some, because type advantage, but like, we ended up dying anyway. So what did I do? I ended up bringing March instead, and March was actually able to very easily give me the autocomplete. So yeah, that's basically what it is. Natasha for the heals, MC in the corner, Gepard between them, and at the end, whatever you need, right? Bring another DPS, so bring, I don't know, I can't say another healer because it's not free to play, but bring like another DPS, bring like a debuffer, like Dan Heng, who can lower the enemy's speed, Pela, who can lower the enemy's defense, that kind of stuff, basically, right? Or like I said, March for even more defense. Now, next up, a very important curio to get. It doesn't break your run if you don't get this curio, right? This curio, it's not a must-have, but it helps a lot when you get it. It's called the Doctor's Robe. You see me pick it up during one of the worlds. Doctor's Robe makes it so that your resonance ability does more damage, which, I mean, it's your highest form of damage, so go for it, right? It's very much what you want. Next up, what to get from Herda. Now, as most of you know, after every few fights, you get an interaction with Herda, right? You get to pick between buying a 1-star blessing, buying a curio, or upgrading 2 random blessings. Now, I always go for the cheapest one, which is just buy a single 1-star blessing. Because getting all the paths of resonance on your preservation path, which is like the special ultimate ability on the side, it helps a lot near the end. And if you're this far into Simulated Universe like I am, you should have the ability unlocked where you can get all 3 dupes. So I always recommend go for that unless you're somehow unless you're 100% certain that there's no more 1-star preservation blessings. You know, in which point you can like get a curio or dupes if you want to, that's fine. But if you know that there is still some out there, try your luck. That's my recommendation. Next up, where did I struggle? Well, I already talked to you about World 6 earlier where I struggled a bit, but one of the scariest ones is World 5. As you can see though, in my World 5 run, when you get to that, I got really unlucky with my blessings. I did not get the blessings. I eventually got the ones that I wanted, but in the beginning especially, it took me a bit. I have had a good amount of like drops where none of them were preservation, even with the reload. Another thing, of course, to worry about is Kafka. Kafka is scary because she can like grab your units or like mind control them and all that kind of stuff, which can be quite scary. However, easy way to get rid of that is bring March and bring Natasha. 2 characters who can cleanse easy auto when you don't even have to try it. Preservation protects your units even if they start attacking each other. You are fine, right? Kafka did worry me, by the way. She worried me a lot. However, I was able to still beat her anyway, so that's, you know, that should show you that you should be able to do it as well. Next up, oh wait, yeah, that's just the last thing. I brought March 7 against Kafka for the extra cleanse, for the shield, and of course for the increased aggression against, well, I assume it's either my Flame MC or my, what's it called, Gepard, they got it. But yeah, that's basically the tactic that I ended up using. Let me know what 5-star you want to see me use next that I own. Just for the record, try to give me like a DPS one. I don't have Himiko, I don't have Welt. I do not have the Ice DPS, I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name, and I don't have Bronya. Try to give me a DPS or a suggestion. I cannot do them all. Obviously, if characters like Bailu that I'm not able to do a carry video for because that's just not how that works. I just bring Abundance and then you don't need a healer anymore. So feel free to drop your suggestions down below what character you want to see me use, and I'll consider it if it's actually an interesting showcase to make, because the point of this video is to help people who are having issues with Simulator Universe, who do happen to have the video in question, in this video's case Gepard, and want to know, hey, how can I just beat it with him? This is an easy way to beat it with him. Alright, I'm going to turn the music up, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. And I hope it's been helpful to you guys. If it has been, make sure to subscribe and give me a like so that I know it's been helpful to you. Leave a comment down below telling me what character I should do next. Or, you know, just telling me some interesting tactics that you have been using yourself. And I've been your Name of 519. Enjoy the rest of the video. Bye bye.